Hey, what's going on? So, I have another topic today, and it's the myth or the lie that good girls like bad guys. Now, I know a lot of people would look at this and say, well, they do. But see, this is a play on definitions of what is good and what is bad and how they interplay with each other. First, I would like to say there is no such thing as a woman being good, defined correctly, that likes a fool or a man who lives in his evil ways. See, just by liking those things, just by valuing the things of a fool and of a wicked person, you disqualify yourself from being good. This is just a tactic for a woman to engage in corruption and evil while portraying herself falsely as a victim, to attempt to exonerate herself of any shame or complicit behavior with the fool. See, she wants all the benefits of the corruption, but she doesn't want the shame, the stigma associated with it. See, a woman intrinsically knows right and wrong, but still wants those benefits and the spoils of corruption, void of that stigma, that label from society to preserve an honorable or virtuous view of herself. See, no good woman, and I mean good defined correctly, would associate with a drug dealer, a pimp, a thief, a liar, or gangbanger unless she is also aligned with his ways and in it for the same reasons the man is for: illegal money under the table and being with a man where her sexual value alone gives her access to spoil those goods. And it's a situation where the man takes all the risk, albeit the deserving risk of him being a fool, but he takes all the risk and she still can falsely attempt to play a victim when it all goes wrong. Again, this is an example of a world that rejects biblical absolute truths and redefines words like good to fit their own personal, wicked, selfish ambitions, ignoring the long-term cultural and societal consequences for the possibility of immediate gratification, void of all wisdom and values that builds families, productive, legal members of society, and cherishes the value of life and property universally. And let's explain why this is a paradox. See, the image of the bad boy is simply the man more easily controlled and influenced by the sexual nature of the woman to reject biblical structures, i.e., the provider, the leader in righteousness and values. Because in that scenario, that woman can just use what is given to her naturally, almost in a very lazy way, to increase her value to that man and actually center that man's world around her. And see, this is just the opposite of the design of how it should be. See, a woman has to first value what is right before she can appreciate a man that stands and leads in righteousness. The first issue with this is culturally, many present day women have aligned themselves also against the same structures and values needed to protect the potential children and the woman from the choices that result from pure vanity and greed void of spiritual discernment. We all know how children in today's lack of values are born. And see, these are born because relationships and interactions are purely based on vanity and greed. It's one trying to use the other, and we ignore those consequences, which are children and the actual protection of the woman from the same evil men, because they're engaging these men based on the evil in their own hearts. So, first, the woman must develop the virtue to be the feminine, spiritually mature woman who values what is good and right, not according to herself, but to the standards that entices and draws a masculine man of character and leadership to uphold the very virtuous values and structures where she willingly and joyfully submits to the authority, knowing the benefit and strength of a man in his right position under God. See, that woman must first understand why righteousness, why those good values, why that structure has benefit, not just for her and her children, but just for for society as a whole, being aligned with God, being revealed by biblical scripture. You know, the bad girl and the bad boy, they actually share the same nefarious purpose to acquire the same things. Usually have money and vanity or attention and their egos involved, and they can play each other by the same thing. So it really doesn't work out in the end. That's why in the end, these women eventually, after they feel enough and experience enough consequences of these bad choices, they eventually want to try to come back to find the good guy. But the good guy has produced value where he is now far above that woman. So it's something you want to get right first. So I just wanted to touch on this subject real quick. It was a lot to take in, but it's something that was on my mind. All right, y'all. Peace out. Look for the next video. Subscribe and share, and I'll be hollering at y'all later. Peace.